Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3 back with another kicking graphic novel review. I did mention that I was probably going to take a DC break because I'm a big DC fanboy, I'll admit it. So I read a lot of DC, but I figured let's read some Marvel, and there's nothing in Marvel I love more than symbiotes. It's true. So I read Deadpool Back in Black. So let's read the back of the book, shall we? Thrill to Wade Wilson's 1980s adventures in symbiote setting. During 1984's Marvel's Superheroes Secret Wars, Deadpool was introduced to an alien symbiote that went on to become Spider-Man's black costume and eventually Venom. Okay, maybe that really took place retroactively in 2015's Deadpool's Secret Wars. But the point is, it happened. Now, did you know that after Peter Parker rejected the costume, but before it found Eddie Brock, it went slinking back to Deadpool on the rebound? And they went on an adventures together? You didn't? Well, you do now! Get ready! First he'll be seduced by the Black Cat's semi-criminal wiles. Then it's Deadpool season in Kraven's second to last hunt. But full monochromatic madness ensues when the black costume Spidey swings by. You've never seen a symbiotic relationship as dysfunctional as this. Collecting Deadpool Back in Black 1 through 5 by Cullen Bunn, Salva Espin, and Ruth Remond. Parental advisory suggested. It runs about $16.99 in the US. I guess that's a fair price. It's kind of a thin book. But Marvel's books seem to usually be thinner than DC's and also more expensive. Keep that in mind. But, yeah, Deadpool Back in Black wasn't very impressed. The alien villains weren't anything special. It wasn't very funny. The art was good. I really like the art style. It's a good art style for comedy. It's kind of written like an 80s book, with the thought bubbles and the narration blocks that you don't really see anymore. And I'm just not a fan of that. It doesn't flow as well. It kind of takes you out of it a little bit. So I wasn't a very big fan of this book, despite it being symbiote-based. But oftentimes I don't like Deadpool solo adventures. Oftentimes I think they feel forced, and the comedy it just doesn't work. It's not like it's Gwen Poole, which would be perfect. But, yeah, lots of Deadpool solo adventures usually rub me the wrong way. I like his team-up books. I've reviewed a couple of his team-up books. I reviewed Deadpool vs. Thanos and Deadpool vs. Carnage, I believe, but Deadpool Back in Black really didn't do it for me, except the art, which I felt was a good format for a comedy book. It had like a bunch of cameos that really didn't amount to much. I mean, the thing about the story is, inherently, it can't do that much because it can't make an impact from the time between Spider-Man dropped the symbiote and Eddie Brock picked it up. Because if it does, then it would change continuity. So yeah, they had to do it in a way that wouldn't change continuity at all. Even though I hate how Marvel has to force Deadpool into absolutely everything. Force him in the Secret Wars. Force him into the symbiote. I feel like they forced Deadpool too hard. Deadpool's not a bad character. They just forced him too hard. And they forced him into this. It wasn't a very big story, and I wasn't really captured by it. In fact, I was reading it, and it felt like a slow read, even though it was a really fast read, because it's kind of a small book. It's just 5-issue miniseries. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. I'll see you all again next time. I don't know what I'll be doing. I'm thinking either Justice League or Batman Detective Comics. Those are what I'm thinking about doing. So I'll see you next time when we review yet another great graphic novel. Or trade paperback, whichever.